Now we're going to cover a feature known as input EQ setting. This will be something you want to work on early in your process. Hit this little button here. Now I use a digital input, so for me it's going to be appropriate to use this. And then you can set my optical left and optical right. And what you have is a 5-band EQ with the ability to run parametric. That's PE, parametric equalization. High shelf, HS. Low shelf, LS. And all pass 1 and all pass 2. Haven't actually even figured out what the all passes will do for you in the sense of an input EQ. Probably not practical. What is practical is to be able to use shelves to boost something that may be coming short through your input. But do this sparingly, be careful. So I'll just give you an example. If I wanted my left and right, so I'm just going to hit volume link as absolute and EQ link as absolute. That way they both change live to the number that I set. So if I want to boost all of the top end of all that this input is providing, and the reason why you might want to do that is, say you've got a roll-off occurring where, let's say after 15,000 hertz, so 15K, you've got this roll-off occurring that's just dropping the output and you're losing that sparkle, that high end that you'd like. What you would do is get to the frequency that you want to gain, use a high shelf in that situation, and this is your gain, and just bring that up. And I'm going to bring it up kind of extreme just to demonstrate what it's doing. We'll go way up there. You would never want to do this in practice. There we go. So my high shelf indicates that basically everything above 15K is going to get boosted, and this gain control determines the slope of that. And this slope thing it's just like any other EQ. Let's say I want a parametric here at 1000 and I want to boost. Q is your slope. It's very, very, very simple. I'm just using my keyboard here to control this on the fly. And likewise, if you want to change that frequency, you would just type in what you want. Now, let's go back to 0. Okay. So when doing this, if you're listening to it live, obviously you don't want to clip, so don't go extreme. But you're listening for the way your inputs behave. So keep in mind that that's literally all channels. And obviously your subwoofer is not going to, play these frequencies, so it's not a big deal to adjust things like you want for all the speakers to work. But when you make these kinds of changes, it's for everything on that input. So if you're listening to, say, an aftermarket radio with RCA outputs, that would be like this analog right here, say our left, right, front, left, rear, right, rear, and then subs, 2 channels of sub. When you're adjusting these, if you're peaking them or changing them or whatever you're doing, it will affect the total EQ for everything. So it's quite powerful, and I would just be responsible with it. This is, just like I said before, it's fantastic if your source is rolling off the signals, say the low end's rolling off. It will not fix something that rolls it off so extreme that the EQ cannot compensate. So it's important to kind of just keep in mind that there's limits, and those limits need to be respected, or the sound is going to sound horrible, because clipping or running out of bits essentially in a digital space, it's an awful sound. It's something you want to avoid at all costs. And there are clipping indicators on a Goldhorn, not on the device itself, which is, I think, something I would consider adding if I were them. But they'll be in these little bars here. And maybe I can demonstrate that with just playing some music in my car real quick. I'm just going to turn the volume up, and you can see these right here. So let's just go into Goldhorn's Sky Atom, and you can see the live responses. So I'm just going to bring this way up. That's about my average loud listening. I'm just going to bring it a little bit higher. And we can start seeing, this is going to be hard to talk over, we can start seeing it's not exceeding yet. There's the subwoofer working. We'll turn it down now. Hard to exceed clipping on a optical system. That's kind of why I invested in making it possible. When you're working on this with EQ controls, just keep in mind you might need to play some pink noise through the system, which is equal energy for all the octaves. The response you're looking for is to make sure you don't exceed clipping points. It'll be difficult with a Goldhorn, I think, but just something to keep in mind.